Welcome to Mildly Fatigued with Adam and Caleb.
She caught. I'm happy to report Shamrock Shake from McDonald's. Edible toothpaste.
You don't like it?
It's good. I like mint.
Oh. Edible toothpaste seems like a bad name. Or bad.
Bed press.
Yeah. So what's up? How's van life? Update us on that.
It's alright. My fucking dongle stopped working, so I can't lock the doors from the inside anymore.
It might be out of battery.
I didn't know they could run out of batteries.
No, yeah, there's little batteries inside of that.
Because this one's been going for fucking 12 years. Like 2005 is when this thing came out, and I don't think we've ever had to change the battery on it.
Well, have you seen your parents replace the battery?
No.
Well, there's two explanations for that. One, your parents do a lot of shit that you don't see. And two, that could have just been the second key, and the first one could have died. Lasted 7 years, you know what I mean? And this is the second key. I don't use very much battery. They send a signal, that's it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have really tiny batteries.
What you call it? My van is now defense ready.
Oh,
I keep the hunting knife slightly pulled out of the sheath in my clothing rack. And then I have two bats, one in the front and one in the back.
I wrote the knife in the driver's seat. You know what I mean?
It's more for if, like, people try to fuck with me while I'm sleeping or something like that.
That's when I bust out the baseball bat.
You can't swing a baseball bat inside the van. Even my tiny ones. That's for, like, you get out of the van for that shit.
What?
The more I look at the bats, I keep thinking of, like, I don't even know what you call it. I guess it'd be like a samurai or like is it samurai genre? Just kind of like clashing blades kind of thing.
Yeah.
With bats.
Yeah. Why?
Probably animated too. You did the fucking shower of sparks kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Why?
I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I've been meeting with these kids about my script idea that I've been working on. I'm not going to talk about it now. But it is in the works. I don't know why I brought that up. I just thought about it.
How is it good? How is it coming along?
I can't talk about it now. I should talk about it in the other podcast. But I do have stuff written down if you want to go into that.
Sure.
There's this new drug going around. So like 21 Jump Street. You know the stereotypical college drug is this like hipster name with this hipster looking thing. You know what I mean? And it's supposed to be something crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
There's a new college. What was 21 Jump Street? What was it? It was some childish name, remember? And they had like the little logo on it and everything.
I haven't watched the whole way through.
But have you seen the drug? They like showed a picture of it.
No.
Okay, well that's basically what it was. It was like, it was called like cherry pie, and like it was acid, and on the acid there was a picture of a little cherry pie. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's just supposed to be a college drug in which it's able to sell because it's like, you know what I mean? It's a drug and it has this cool name.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it's an opiate that's going around called Orange Tesla. and it's this little drug that's shaped just like the Tesla symbol. It says Tesla, and you know the logo, the T on the cars? It has that logo with Tesla right above it, and it's a little orange pill that's going around in colleges, and it's like, it's supposed to be like an opiate or something like that. And it's like what like the colleges are doing, and it's called Orange Tesla.
Is it like a hardcore opiate or like fucking kratom kind of thing?
I don't know, but I think it's supposed to be like a hardcore. Well, like why else would it be passed around if it wasn't hardcore?
Well, I mean, pot gets passed around, and pot is like the definition of not hardcore.
Speaking of that, yeah, but still, when I'm saying like, yeah, I don't think they could just get kratom instead. You know what I mean? If they want something that light.
Well, from our experience, kratom isn't all that like.
We weren't ready.
It's not as dependable as a drug as like weed or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We done like fucking 18. I downloaded.
Down.
Okay. That one day I downed like 18, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I didn't feel shit until I came home and like drank a bunch of water. Second time I didn't feel shit in the first at all. And I think I polished them off at one point, and I didn't feel anything then either.
Yeah, I think that what we need to do next time is get the actual powder and just do a shot of it. What?
It's so gross smelling.
But literally, you get that, you have a soda, like wash it all down, and it's gone. But I just remember I remember that was so hard.
We even like I even separated the pills and like poured them onto my tongue, kind of thing. That wasn't bad.
That's the same thing. But instead, it's gonna be in a water shot.
Well, when you do it in the water, it gets like everywhere.
Yeah, in your mouth.
Yeah. If you just put it on your tongue and then like wash it down, that it's only right there.
Yeah. It's variable. Yeah, drugs are really crazy, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I had to talk about my fucking postmodernist teacher. He was teaching us the other day about how, like, the reason why, like, the government, how do I say this without it sounding crazy? Like, the only reason the government, like, are titling people as, like, druggies and thieves and stuff like that is, like, as a form of scapegoat, you know what I mean? That we're putting all of our own problems on these people, and then we're punishing them, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, really? Like, is that, like, really what you think? Like if you want to have an argument, like, because he talked specifically about drugs, not the other ones for scapegoating. So it's like, if you really want to talk about drugs, like, wouldn't it be more of a defense just to, like, we already know the war on drugs was a bad, you know what I mean, a bad deal, and it's caused nothing but worse. We're worse off because of it. Like, it's easier to argue that than to what he's saying, you know what I mean? That the government's scapegoating us through you know what I mean? And then he sent us an email last night. Yeah, it was last night. And saying that, like, he was just talking about the paper and stuff like that. And at the very end, he's just like, just so you guys know, like, these aren't my views. And, like, he just made it a point to say that these aren't his opinions. And he's like, I just think that these are a good way of objectively, or as a lens to objectively look at things and blah, blah, blah. He basically gave us some bullshit excuse to why we should believe it. That's how I took it. And, what was I going off of that? Yeah, it just seemed one way of covering his ass. To say, hey, I'm not preaching you guys that this shit is real, you know what I mean? And two, to say that, like, hey, this isn't real, but look at, I'm teaching you guys, and it happens to see, it sort of makes sense, you know what I mean? So that's what I got out of the email.
I thought of something if you don't kind of hear, if you are at the end of that.
Oh yeah, that's the end of the.
Okay.
Well, hold on, no, actually not that. But that's horseshit, right? Like, a teacher shouldn't be teaching. No,
I don't know, man.
You don't care? Like, if you had a teacher like that, it's not that. Say your teacher's teaching pro-conservative ideology, in an English class, because it is an English class, and the whole point of the class is to objectively read and write. That's the purpose of the class.
Honestly, if you want to push your ideology, that's a good way to go.
To objectively teach someone how to read and write.
If you take up a teaching position, you can push your ideology onto the next generation. Doesn't matter really what class it is.
Yeah, okay, I get that, but the point of this class isn't to teach ideology, it's to teach critical reading and writing skills. You know what I mean? That's literally what it says in the class description.
It's kind of brainwashy, but that's like the perfect class to do it.
No, that's what I'm not saying. I guess because I get the point of why he's doing it, because he wants us to use this sort of lens, but I just feel the way he's going, a part of it is brainwashy. Does it make sense? And that's my issue with it.
Yeah.
Cool, that's all I got.
It's kind of shady. What you call it? I've been having dreams lately, and to me they seem weird. I had a dream where, you know, in like cartoons and shit like that, where they do over the Super Bowl. It's like over the Super Bowl seats, and they have that like lounge.
Oh yeah.
I forget the context, but we were like sitting in one of those.
You and I?
No.
Okay.
Me and Hitler.
Okay.
Some other guy was like sitting across from us. And the conversation's like going all right.
Wait, hold on. Just imagine. It's just so funny that I'm like, you and I? And you're like, no, me and Hitler. Sorry, you go.
So me, Hitler, and some other guy are talking in this like Super Bowl fucking lounge.
Yeah. Is there like a game going on in the background?
Yeah, there's like a big fucking window and it's over something.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a football.
Okay.
I think like in the dream I thought it was football.
Yeah, okay.
And we were talking and I said something that like kind of went over awkward, and then the fucking Hitler turns to me and he's like, you know, if we were I'm not gonna do the voice because that's not the right accent.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, if we were in Germany, I'd have you fucking gutted to prove you were a Jew or something like that. I was like, oh, all right. I just kind of like got up and left, and that was the end of the dream. So I have no fucking clue what that was about.
Yeah, it's so weird when I had dreams like that.
What was the other one? I remembered it while I was driving here, but I don't remember it now.
What's going on about dreams? I usually don't have dreams like that are so drastic where I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Actually, I do, but I don't remember them. But I don't know. I don't feel like anything with Hitler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, what did I have the other day? Oh, okay. This was such a weird dream. And I have no clue why. Okay, so when I was watching Woody Allen a lot, this is when I had the dream. And when I started to see his... How do I say this? The reoccurring theme of young women within his movie, right? I had this dream. I don't know who the girl was, but I had this dream in which there's a parking lot, right? And this really, really young girl was with this like decently older, like he shouldn't be with her, right? And I don't know. I kind of just saw that. I saw it was like flirtatious, aggressive from the man, right? And that was the end of the dream. So I guess those are more how my dreams are. And I had no clue who the girl was or the guy was or why it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just remember I woke up and then I'm like, I guess how do I describe the feeling? I don't even know how to describe the feeling that I had, like in the dream when I was watching it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a period where you have some sort of, I don't even know what to call them. They're like weird sleep things, I guess.
Like, what do you mean?
Like for a period of time I would like fall asleep. It was in freshman year when I still lived at that first house. It was like a period of time where I'd be like kind of falling asleep and then feel like I just fell like 5 feet and wake up on the bed kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think I told you guys this in high school. It was so weird. So actually so this is a whole nother thing. So from like puberty until like junior year, like the beginning of junior year, I would have like crazy Charlie horses waking up, you know what I mean? Like I was like, holy shit. And so what you have to do is you have to grab your toes, I don't know if you know, and if you bend them back, it'll like, what it does is it forces you like to stretch it out in some way, and you could basically reduce the, you know what I mean? So I just pull my toes, and usually after a minute or so it disappears. And like I remember my leg, oh my god, I told you guys this joke already. I remember my leg was like this. They can't see it. It was like twisted back, and I remember like I was like, holy shit, I woke up finally, and I looked down at my toes, and they're like in every fucking direction. Like I don't think you understand. Like I've never seen my toes in every direction like that. And I was like, what the fuck? And I gripped them and I pulled them back, and it left. And yeah, I just remember that image. And then going on to another thing. After that, I guess after junior year for a while, I don't even know. Actually, this was like all of high school. I would just wake up in a panic. You know what I mean? Like I would have a panic attack in my sleep. I get not even a panic attack, but I would get up and then I would hurry up and get off my bed and stand up. And I'm like, why did I do that? And then holy shit! Now like I realize I just woke up instantly and I just go back to bed. And I don't know why. And it would happen constantly, like once a week.
Dang.
Not like once a week, but like often enough that it was like it happened. It felt like once a week. You know what I mean?
Damn. I don't know why, but like, is that what they're called? Charlie horses? When your leg all fucked up?
Yeah.
It gets all fucked up? They always happen when I'm like moving my leg in a certain weird way. And it's always when it's hard to like fix it.
Well, yeah, it could just be regular cramps. And I think, the reason why that happens is when you're growing too fast when you're young. So I think during that time from like freshman year to the beginning of junior year, I must have had like my most growth, you know what I mean? And that's why I was waking up with those Charlie horses, because I know it's not an uncommon thing for I'm not tall, but I'm saying for tall people in general to go through that, you know what I mean?
What's the difference between a Charlie horse and a cramp?
They feel exactly they're exactly the same thing, but I think a Charlie horse is like only in your leg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've gotten them like here. I remember at one point I was like getting out of. I think you might have been.
I've probably seen you.
Someone was next to me, and I like got out. Or I was getting out of the car, and I moved my leg.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, I moved my leg in a certain way, and just like this huge fucking cramp went up in my thigh.
No, yeah, that happened. That's like not a normal thing, but like it's not. Yeah, that happens to people.
It's just like
you're just trying to get out of your car.
Yeah, clamber out of the car to try to fucking stretch out my leg.
You're like, it's hilarious.
It was like a solid minute of me trying to fix the fucking cramp in my leg, and I went the wrong way. I tried to like bunch it up, and that made it so much fucking worse.
Yeah, like already I would have been like this trying to take my shoe off, and been like this. I would have been like trying to reach for my toes. I'm telling you, if you pull your toes back, you'll disappear. The reason I learned is from soccer. So when in soccer, you know what I mean, there's a lot of legs, you know what I mean? So people get cramps all the time. And I just, when you play, I guess, you know, you watch a lot of people get hurt and stuff like that. And I just remember people would get cramps and the coaches would run over and they'd pull their toes back. So that's, I'm pretty sure it's a thing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You ever had a sleep paralysis?
No, and everyone says that. Like where you're like locked and you're like...
Mine wasn't locked. I was like I like got to the edge of my bed kind of thing. I couldn't scream is what fucked me up. It was... So it might have been like...
A dream?
Half a dream. But I remember like waking up and I like got... There was something weird about the room and I like got to the edge of my bed and I don't even remember if I saw something. There was just like an imminent threat right there.
Okay.
And it like smiled at me, but I don't really remember it smiling.
Okay.
I remember it kind of laughing. And
wait, how old were you?
This was
last year.
I think this was like 1st or 2nd grade.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I didn't know any of that shit.
Yeah, you didn't even know the Boogie Monster at that point.
So, I like got to the end of my bed and like freaking out. And I like tried to scream. And have you ever had the air knocked out of you?
Yeah.
It was like that when you like try to scream.
So you remember the scream, like the feeling vividly?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So keep going.
And I think it was like a 2-minute long dream, and then I just kind of like went back to sleep and woke up the next morning. Like, oh, that was a thing.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but the only thing I had when I was young is I used to sleepwalk. Like I distinctly remember like years before, not years, but the years before middle school, you know what I mean? Where my mom would like wake me up and move me into my room, or I'd wake up in a whole other room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it happened like that probably all throughout elementary, and then it stopped for some reason. Actually, I remember a little bit in middle school, but for the most part, it stopped. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, something weird about that weed. That weed like unlocked the libido for a bit.
What do you mean?
Because I think you've noticed this at some point. I don't really like stare at girls or anything like that. I
okay.
don't care to watch them or anything. But when I was high on that weed, I'm like, damn, look at those boobs, kind of thing.
Damn, look at those boobs. Oh, what was it? Didn't they say like, I don't know if this is a thing, but like marijuana was like a thing for like to provoke sexual arousal?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, what if you were at a certain THC percentage in which you were sexually aroused? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. Yeah, that shit's rare.
Well, you're with Teresa, and you're like, you're looking at Teresa.
No, she was gone. Yeah.
That's true.
Gosh, Caleb. How many hours of sleep around? I think I went to bed at like 7:40.
Oh, that's okay. This is on another topic, but so pilots, eh? So how do I say it? When I decided to watch Stanley Kubrick's. I don't know if you watched it, but The Love Bomb, or something like that. And it's like how I learned to love myself in the atom bomb, or something like that.
How I learned to love myself and stop worrying about. I think
that movie.
Yeah, Doctor Strangelove.
Doctor Strangelove. There you go. So during the time they have their own frequency in which have you watched the movie?
Mm.
Okay, so this crazy general is about to bomb like a country, and if that country if we bomb them, they're definitely gonna bomb us, and like basically the world's gonna end. How like everyone's gonna blow up a bunch of bombs or nukes, sorry. And so this basically corrupt officer sends out a special transmission in which they have this procedure, right? And they go through this procedure, and during the procedure it says block off all communications, and the only communications that can be on here is this certain channel where this certain code. So only the people in the plane know the code, and people who outside who have the procedures know the code to get in communication with them. You know what I mean? Mm. So that's the whole movie, is that they're trying to get in communication with these before they blow up and cause a war that we don't want to start. You know what I mean? Mm. And so I decided just looking up plane frequencies or whatever, or just all about that stuff, just because I was interested in it. So in commercial planes, they have something similar to that, in which they have a special frequency that's meant to only be used for emergency things only. Like there's someone on the fucking plane, like shoot us down or something. You know what I mean? So it's for special things. Literally, if you go on it, like right now, while the planes are on it, they're talking about like, hey, can you order me Chick-fil-A when I land? And shit like that, and they use it for stupid mundane things that they're not supposed to be using it for. And so they're like, you can go on there not go on there, but like how do I say it? This pilot said where I was reading it is that like when you go and listen in, they're just talking about random stuff or like if they need to do things, they'll just use that channel really quick. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I wrote it down because I thought it was funny that this thing that's supposed to be so taken seriously, it's like they don't give a fuck. It's like they're barely piloting a plane because it's like autopilot, and then they're just using the channel to like just talk to each other. You know what I mean?
So it's like the trucker like ham radio
basically, yeah.
What you call it? Fuck, what was I even talking about?
Ham radio?
No, it's before that. It had something to do with the planes.
Dr. Strangelove?
Oh, did you hear about the fucking damn, I don't know it.
Chemtrails?
Let me look it up real quick. It's there's like a thing where planes were nosediving.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like they were running out of like gas or something?
No, like what is it?
But hold on, speaking of nosedives, while you look that up, me and my dad, I told you about the drone that can fly miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
We decided to do our first real long test flight where we flew literally out to Bonsall towards Temecula. So we flew pretty far. And the battery was almost at 50%, so my dad's like, all right, so we're at 50%, you can turn back now. And so I decided to turn back. We're flying for a little bit, and the fucking plane crashes in the middle of Bonsall, right? Mind you, we already have a tracker on it, so we know exactly where it is. So we're not worried about losing it. So we finally drive all the way out to Bonsall, right? It was like a 30, 45-minute drive. I don't think you understand. It was in the richest neighborhood, right? Okay, how do I say this? I was going door to door to see if I can go in their backyard because these houses were $1 million houses. Not only was no one home, I snuck into their house. I don't even know how to say it, but this neighborhood is a $1 million house neighborhood in which each house has 2 acres of land surrounding it. You know what I mean? That's completely empty. And so we were going door to door, seeing if someone knew one of the houses that was nearby, so we could go and get the drone. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And no one was answering. No one was there. Not a single soul was in any of the houses. And I sat there at each door ringing the bell for like 5 minutes. So I just hopped over the fence and got this drone. But it's just crazy that these $1 million houses are like completely empty.
Damn.
But yeah, I was just saying because the plane crashed in someone's backyard. Was it in America or what? What do you know about it?
I saw like a headline and they were talking about how like Trump grounded like all the planes of this type because they were there's like a certain defect that causes them to nosedive.
Do you know what I found out about Trump?
What?
He gave you the right to choose. Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
People who are not on death row, but who are terminally ill.
Oh shit, really?
What?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, people who are terminally ill and are on who are going to die have the right to choose like any type of experimental drug they want.
Oh, okay.
So if there's like a drug that they don't know that might work to save them, they have the right to choose that if they want.
Ah.
And it's an executive law that he put into place. And you want to know something else?
What?
You know when the big drama was going around, how he's separating families?
Mm-hmm.
He was the first president in history to sign an executive order stopping the separation of families at all costs. Now you tell me, he's a bad guy.
You call it?
Do you have a lighter?
Not in here.
Not in here?
It's in the back.
Oh, okay, I'll go get it. I was saying like I don't got a fucking lighter. Oh, what were you gonna say something?
I think I was going to.
Okay, I'll open it back. Oof. These Swisher wood tips? What are they? What are these?
Swisher Sweet Wood Tips.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got them in Arizona.
You're rolling. Oh no.
You know weed?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know. What? Well, except what I'm thinking is we could pack it with tobacco. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Damn.
Why do you got bunk ass lighters in your fucking thing?
Anything that's not the one with the sheath on it and the one with the.
Yeah, no. So why don't you throw them out? They're useless. I don't. Do you understand that?
It depends, because it depends on the weather. Sometimes they work.
I know, but just get a new lighter.
What you call it? I'm at the point right now where if I got a ticket, it would fucking destroy my finances.
Why?
Or like my financial situation. So I can't just drop money on lighters all the time if I don't have to.
Okay. Okay, just making sure one of these eggs. We can see the fuel. I don't fucking know that.
I filled it with water.
Damn, this sick ass lighter. Yeah, it's for Arizona. How does that go? Roll in the back one just a little bit. Oh, you have to turn the key.
Well, sometimes. You don't open. Oh, okay. You open the door.
Not too far, just a little bit. Alright, so how's it going?
So, what you call it? The drive there was A-okay. We were. Do you
Drink
know
the
this?
score?
Huh?
Drink the score?
Yeah.
What did your person say about the trash?
Huh? No, they didn't even look in here.
That's funny.
Do you know those sand dunes on that lowermost road that goes to Arizona? Have you ever driven to Arizona?
Oh yeah, I've driven to Arizona.
Which road did you take?
Don't know.
There's one that goes through the Rockies and it goes through like.
Oh, we went to
Indio and.
India, Idaho.
No, Indio.
Oh, what the heck?
There's a city called Indio.
Oh no, but we went towards the Grand Canyon, so anywhere over there.
So you might have been either higher or you probably went through like Indio. But if you go even more south, there's a road that goes
To the
past,
dunes?
yeah, there's like an area. It's not even like 2 miles long, and where it's just like Sahara Desert fucking sand.
Oh, is it still in California?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been there or seen it.
And so we drove through there, and I'm like, I've got a fucking empty board or I've got like a blank board on the back. You want to go see if we can
Right down.
go down the hill?
Who's we?
Me and Walter.
Okay.
But fucking bureaucratic bullshit. They won't let us park to go on the sand dunes if we don't have a permit. So we never got to do that.
Why'd you just go quick? You could have gone once. You know what I mean? Just going down once, and then he goes down once and leave.
Well, I started to think like maybe there's a reason they have regulations on it. I don't want to be the kid that fucking like went down the sand dune,
Dies.
like what do you even call that flip where it's just like a board like
Tumbles.
yeah, like face feet under the through the sand and like dies or something like that. And we were already gonna get there kind of late, so I just.
All right, let's talk about the Renaissance Fair.
Well, the Renaissance Fair itself was just kind of, it was all right.
Compared to the best one you've gone to.
That was the best one I've gone to.
Oh, so how was
that? It was kind of a disappointment.
Dang.
The first guy, okay, first off, there's like a shit ton of deaf people and transgender people, like everywhere.
Okay.
Like the cultural mass was like normal shit. Then there's like in each crowd there was someone going like
Okay.
like shit like that. I remember the first show I went to. Actually, even when I like walked in, I saw a tent for like the deaf. Honestly, I'm wondering if there was like a convention, or it was like set up for it.
Okay.
Because there was like a tent out front for like deaf shit.
You went to a deaf festival?
They invited the deaf, I'm assuming.
Did your parents enjoy it? How's your parents? How are your parents?
Pretty good.
Do they like where they live now or what?
My
Did you
mom
see where they live?
does.
Oh yeah? Why?
My mom was raised in the desert, so Phoenix, Arizona is like home for her. She didn't think she'd like it, but when she got there, she's like, "Oh, this is great." My dad, it takes him like an hour to get to work now.
So he's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
So he's not a camper? Oh, do you want to try this one?
Sure.
It better be decent, dude.
I got pretty high on it last night.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you smoked it yet. So keep going.
So my dad has to like drive an hour to get to work now. He seems alright.
Have you been to their house, or did they still live with your uncle?
I've been to their house.
They got a house?
Yeah, that's where I've been sleeping. Yeah, that's where I slept.
Is it cool?
It's a lot smaller than the one we had in Berkeley Springs.
Dang.
And you call it the kitchen. Or my mom wasn't satisfied with the kitchen lights they have in there. I saw that they fucking bought their counter. Like the islands.
Yeah.
They always choose one with an
brand
island.
new.
Yeah, they always choose one with an island because they have we have those chairs that go at them. But I noticed that like the one there is like built. It's not like part of the floor or anything like that. They got their hot tub.
Damn, they brought their hot tub?
No, they had to leave the other one, but they bought a new one.
Oh, okay. That sucks. But they still have a hot tub.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was what does their house look like? Like, do they have, like, you know how you guys had like a lake and everything, and you guys had space? Is this in a neighborhood?
Yeah, it's in like, I think it's the left in suburbia.
Yeah.
It was like a more Arizona, like sort of Pueblo-ish look. It like one of those.
Okay. Like where it has like oh, you can't see it here, but there's like shingles. Like the shingles are like Arizona, like West Coasty sort of Mexican look.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the houses are that sort of yellowish.
Yeah, tan, bland, boring.
Yeah. And then the yards were gravel, with like
rocks
cactus and shit.
Yeah.
Then their backyard, they have like a pool,
Damn.
gravel, and then the hot tub.
You got a pool and a fucking hot tub?
Yeah.
Did you go in the pool?
Yes.
You like best believe I touched the water.
I don't know why people are always surprised that I would go to the pool while it's like 60. I didn't go for very long, but...
Wait, why would you go in the pool?
Because if you go in the pool first, and then you get in the hot tub, then it's even better.
It's so weird. Because didn't you go in the pool in the snow? Or the jacuzzi in the snow?
Yeah.
Would your parents go in the jacuzzi in the snow?
Mm-mm.
So they weren't fucking retarded.
Yeah, hell no. Especially my mom. Yeah. What else was there? Oh, so at the Renaissance Fair, the first show we went to was called the Tory Stellar. And what he does, he like explained his whole bit.
The Tory Stellar?
Yeah.
The storyteller?
No, the Tory Stellar. That's his bit. Is that he switches
Okay.
the letters of like words, and he just does it in. Like,
So he has a routine.
yeah, it's like it's funny in like how the words come out just because of how they switch the letters.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like tickle bitties and shit like that.
Kind of. It's like he did. I think it was fucking the worst. So he did a bunch of jokes about like da 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 da, fucked in the forest kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be walks in the forest.
Yeah.
But the thing that I remember was that he was really good about the deaf chick. Like, he would stare, he'd like talk right to her, make sure he like moved his lips right and shit like that.
Yeah. Did she look uncomfortable? Did you look at her?
And she was having a great time. She caught. He's like, I need you at all my shows, kind of thing.
She was so enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Someone's moving the car right there.
And then, do you know who Dead Bob is?
Nope. Is it like a mythical person? Like a myth?
He's a comedy act that's been running since like the 90s for Renaissance Fair. And his bit is that he is a ventriloquist who plays a skeleton named Dead Bob. And my parents always thought he was really funny. And then when we actually went to watch the show, it was just kind of boring. Especially since so me and Walter split off after the Tory Stellar.
Where'd you go?
Like, me and him split off from them.
That's Tory Stellar.
And we went and we looked at a bunch of shit. Or we looked at all the stores and shit like that. And it's fucking amazing how much they overpriced that shit. It's like a mug is like $40.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Oh, sorry.
So we walked around, looked at all this shit, and then finally we get to a point where I look over and it's the Dead Bob show, and I remember that was like one of the reasons we came to the show. So I didn't know if my parents had like already seen it, so I just walked over and watched the last half of it. And then we went on and started walking again, and then my parents were like, "Where are you? The Dead Bob show is about to start." So we just went back to it, and I was disappointed to find out that the man does not even like swap out his jokes. It's the exact same routine on the exact same day, and then there's like improvised bits, and those improvised bits are actually funny. The jokes themselves are just kind of lame.
So you're saying he should probably improvise every time?
Pretty much, yeah.
So like he'll pick someone out of the crowd and he'll make something funny?
Yeah, he was doing a gag about the kid that was playing in the dirt at the Renaissance Festival. Like, he wasn't even watching the show, he was just having a great time in the fucking dirt on the... Because all these shows are like... I'm surprised they weren't hay this time. I fucking hate when they put hay down. Because I don't think you understand. I've been to... When I was in Arizona, it was like every single year we went to the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, I know, you told me, I think, podcasts ago.
So, then I remember at like almost every show, it was like hay bales, and I fucking hated sitting on them because they'd like make your ass itch, and you're like trying to watch the show, and your parents don't want you squirming, and you're sitting there like, it's okay. And then you get hay in your legs and shit like that.
Keep going.
We went to so this time they had fencing, but it was on the dirt floor. And all of that's roundabout to like explain the kid playing in the dirt. I remember anytime I was bored with the show, it was like you'd find a stick nearby and you'd draw in the dirt and shit like that.
Really? So they're making fun of you?
Basically, they're making fun of young me.
Uh-huh.
And he like was making fun of the fact that the kid had no interest in the show. He made fun of the fact that, like, don't let the runner or the fair runner see you do that, or it's gonna be $20 to play in the dirt.
Basically, they're trying to scam though.
Yeah, right there. You remember how I said, like, the Renaissance Fair is like everything is expensive.
Yeah. So he's making fun of that.
Yeah. It's like the archery shit is like $8. It's like, are you fucking
You shoot
kidding
3
me?
arrows?
Yeah, you get like 10 arrows, and you pay like $8 to hit the ball or to hit the bullseye, and you get like a shitty doll.
Man, that's good. Shamrock Shake. I'm surprised he's got the large. That was $3. I thought you were gonna get a small. Cause what if you didn't like it?
Oh, I like mint stuff. I
What?
like mint shakes.
Well, it's still, what if it was a shitty one that you didn't like?
I imagine they wouldn't be here if they were shit.
You're right.
um,
Renaissance Fair, making fun of the kids in the dirt, charging them.
yeah. So that was like the only funny bits, and like just him making fun of people. Oh, he had some girl come up, and she was like 5 or 6,
Uh-huh.
and I remember I watched like both shows, so I remember the kid before her, and the kid before her, like, he walked up alone, he read the thing, and he turned around and he's like, they did the gag where they open up the door behind him, and like, hey kid, come in here for stickers. And
Okay.
the kid just blindly walks into the room, and then they close the door. And he comes out like a joke later, kind of thing. But this little girl, like,
She didn't want to go in?
the whole thing was weird. Like, he like walks through the audience, and he looks for these people called rule breakers, and he establishes the rules at the beginning of the thing. So he just picks these people out of the crowd, and then he grabs 3 of them. He makes a joke about the fact that there was always 3, and then he brings them up, and he like looked at someone, like locked eyes with them, and then that lady just decided that he picked her child. So she like got up and like he even like commented on the fact, like, it doesn't matter that I wasn't choosing you or something like that. He's coming up. So first of all, the choosing was weird. And the little girl goes.
So
all
wait,
the
the
way up
dad literally forced the daughter like to go, sort of?
It was her mom,
Oh,
and her mom just kind of like. Oh, I remember what it is. He like acted like he was choosing him, and then she got up, and he's like, no, never mind. And then she just kept going. He's like, oh, I guess since I made you stood up, it's happening. So a girl went up, read the shit, and then they did the bit where they're like, come on, get some stickers. And the girl just like stands there and like chews on her thumb, or chews on her nail. And he's like trying to goad her into the back,
Yeah.
and she just wouldn't do it. And her mom didn't go and sit down like the other one. Her mom like stood on the side of the stage, like watching with a camera.
Okay.
So she just went back to her mom, and the bit didn't get done.
So how did he improvise off of that?
He didn't. It was, well, it'd like say how weird it was.
What do you mean?
Like, it was awkward.
So what did he say? He's like, oh, that was awkward.
I don't remember. One of my dad's friends from work showed up.
At the Renaissance Fair?
Yeah. He was this.
By accident?
No, he asked him to come. But we didn't like see him until they might have been together more. But I didn't see my dad since like after the Tory Stellar, which was like half an hour in.
Uh-huh.
And then when he came to the Dead Bob show, he came back with this guy named Rusty. And Rusty is this like big, chubby ginger, and he has like a Viking leather helmet on his head.
Down. Relax. Put it down. Sorry, keep going.
With antlers coming out the top. And then he's got a strap that separates his real chin and his double chin.
Okay.
With this like kind of spark, like right the spots right here, but just his entire neck.
Okay.
Of just ginger beard.
Yeah.
And it separates his chin and his lower chin. And then he had on like, I forget what logo the shirt was. I don't think I recognized
Wait,
it.
was it Viking horns like that?
No, it was like deer antlers.
Okay, so we're going outwards like big?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
was he wearing?
He was wearing like a band t-shirt and brown pants. And then he just had like a tube that looked sort of medieval-ish-y around his waist. I don't really know what it was.
So he looked like half dressed?
He was talking about how he like the whole day he was getting jokes like, oh, are you horny kind of thing. Oh, that was probably the best part is the people that are running the stands, they're all in character and they'll like call you out for shit like that. Or like, yeah. So I remember one of them we walked past and it was a game where you sit on a log with a bag and beat the shit out of your friend and try to get him off of it.
Okay.
And me and Walter were walking by and he's like, hey, you want to beat your friend off while I'm over here? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there was just all sort of banter like that. So he got like the worst of it because everyone was just hauling ass on that fucking, the horns on his head.
Why? Because they're like the way it looked was funny?
Yeah. It was just, they stuck out a lot and he was already kind of tall. And, it just looked funny.
Wait, how wide was like the wingspan? Because I'm thinking like 4 feet, like at least like the.
Oh no, it was more like tall than.
Okay, fine. How tall?
Probably like this high.
Okay.
And they were like real deer antlers. So they look like that sort of shape.
No, yeah, I get it.
Honestly, I forget why I bring him up.
No, it's because it was goofy and it's just a funny thing that happened.
Yeah. Oh. He disappeared at some point. He just like, we got to an intersection.
He comes back and is off his head.
So we got to like an intersection. We went to go look at a book. And he's just like, see ya. And he just fucking turned around and kept walking. So we got to the end, or we finished with the books. My dad turns around, he's like, where's Rusty? I'm like, oh, he went that way. And he seemed okay with it. My mom was like, why would he just leave? He's like, oh, Rusty just does his own thing. So we get to the end of the thing, and at the end of the thing is the battle arena where they do like real jousting.
Real?
Yeah, like they get on horses and they fucking
but still, they can try to hit them in specific ways to fake it.
Well, it's what you're supposed to do is shatter the shield on someone's heart. So that's where the non-death part comes in. So they joust these fucking things off each other. So Rusty said he was by the jousting. So my dad went off to go look for him at the battle arena. And Walter said, the jousting thing is over there. Because right at the intersection was a kid's game where it was jousting, but it was like kid jousting. They had like the wire that goes down, a fake horse, and you sit on the horse, hold the thing, and you're supposed to get a ring from this sort of like display shield with just a bit carved out. And we're like, all of us were like, it's not that one. like that's not the jousting. That's
Yeah.
a jousting game. It's like kids game. And Walter like insisted that like he's probably over there. And so we waited like 5 minutes. And then
Your dad comes back.
no, he was still looking.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, all right, me and Walter are gonna go look. And for whatever reason, my mom was upset about that. So we went over there, and sure enough, I'm looking around for the fucking deer antlers. And in the crowd, I see this big guy with sunglasses, ginger beard, and like his deer horn sticking out.
In the kids jousting?
He wasn't like in there, but he was around it.
Okay.
So I call him over and bring him back. So
Where the fuck is your dad?
He was still looking for him over by the arena.
Well, how did you find him like instantly?
Because we went to the right one.
Oh, okay.
Because it was like...
Oh, there's like different ones to go to?
Yeah, there was the intersection, which was the jousting game. And then a long stretch. And then a big open area where the arena is on the other end. And we were like right here.
Okay. And you just happened to see him?
Yeah, so my dad went this way and we went that way.
Oh, okay.
So he was in totally different fucking...
That's what I'm saying. I thought you guys went to where your dad was, but you guys went to the right area.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So Walter was totally right. We brought him back.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad about that.
Why?
Because I was like, no, he's not over there. Like, why the fuck would he be over there?
Sometimes you have to. Okay, well, sorry, I don't know your relationship with your parents, but sometimes I'm like mother, I'm like, no, like that's not it, or like I'll tell my friends like, no, like no, you're wrong. Like I'm telling you, if you go over here, it's gonna be right, and sometimes they'll listen to me. But I'm saying sometimes like I don't know, because I don't know, not to target your parents, but my parents, they're literally getting older. You know what I mean? And they're getting stupider. No offense, but like they're getting dumb sometimes, and they need help with the most stupidest things sometimes. I'm saying that's how my parents are, and sometimes I'm like, no, like it's like this.
Yeah. Well, my parents still have their wits about them, I guess.
I'm not saying anything about your parents. I'm saying just me and my parents. Sometimes they tell them like, "Hey, listen."
Yeah. What was it?
You're just talking about the festival and how you finally found him, fucking the antlers.
Oh yeah. So it was Walter. Walter was right. They brought like this neighbor from across the street named Tony, and my mom's like crazy about him for whatever reason. Like he's the best buddy, but he's just kind of this like, he's an 80-year-old dude who looks like he has like sort of an Indian face, but I'm not sure he was actually Indian.
Mm-hmm.
He might have been a mix or something.
Like legit 80, or he's just really old?
Like legit 80.
Okay.
And they were telling me about him, and apparently he like came over and like offered
Fought
to
in World War II. Sorry, no, I'm just kidding.
He came over and like offered to help unpack, and he like kicked my parents' asses with how
Athletic.
athletic about it he was. He could like carry all this shit, and then they find out that he's like 30 years older than them.
Uh-huh. So he looks young?
No, he looks like he's like older, but he doesn't look like he's 80.
Does he look like your parents' age?
Yeah, probably around that age.
Really? And he's 80?
Well, no, he doesn't look like that actually. He looks sort of I guess like 70s, I guess.
So he doesn't look like he's fucking 80s hunchback.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks like a kind of big with a pot belly. He's like sort of that 40s look. He's into that sort of 40s look, and he hasn't graduated into, I guess, old people look where they look. Or all,
Oh, okay. It's hard for her to visualize, but that's like really, you're like, he's like Indian face, but 80, but he can lift, and he's young, and I'm like, what?
It doesn't look like he'd be that or as athletic about it, or athletic as you'd think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured he'd be like sort of like charismatic, because we've had like charismatic neighbors, but he was just like this quiet dude that, "Ooh, are you Adam?" He shook my hand, and then we barely talked after that.
Because you just didn't talk.
Yeah. It always sounds like they're like right next to us.
Yeah. We hit the hour mark, so we can wrap up this podcast whenever you'd like.
Maybe.
What was I gonna say about that? So they like friends and stuff. For me, it's so weird because, in how I say this in a non-weird way, my parents have friends, but it's not like they have it's them having friends isn't like a normal thing. Does it make sense? Like if they have a friend, like I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'm saying like if it was something like that, I'd be like, okay, it's kind of weird, but it's okay. Does it make sense? And because usually it's just family, my mom and her sisters and stuff like that, and my dad doesn't really have any family. And what was I doing with this? Yeah, I don't know, just something like that. I don't know. It's just so weird. Just like where your parents made this friend because he helped you and stuff like that. My parents don't give a fuck about our neighbors. You know what I mean? Like the people across the street for Christmas, they'll give us like tangerines or something like that, and we'll give them eggs, and like that's it. And then like just the other day they hit us up. Just the other day, it was literally Wednesday. This is the first time ever they've done this. They're like waking us up for I don't know what the fuck reason, hitting our door, ding 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 ding. And I get up, it's like the street sweeper is coming, and we had 3 cars in the street. So I'm like, get the fuck out, guys! And so I'm like, thank you. And she just left and she walked back to her house. And I get the fuck out, and we all moved the cars. Yeah.
On the subject of street sweeping, what you call it, the night of, I came home and they're like, it's like raining out like hard, and I came in, go to my door, and there's a note on it that says street sweeping tomorrow, please, you need to move your car. So I'm like, oh shit, because one of the cars I don't have to worry about because I'm leaving at like fucking 7:30. But the other one, I'll probably move the van into the back. So I walk around the back. I close the dog in the garage, walk around back, open up the gate, and start pulling the van through. And I get like halfway through. I get just barely into the fucking gate, so that I can't close it, and then I get stuck in the mud.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You're such a dumbass. Keep going. If I saw mud, I'm like, fuck no.
Like what are we supposed to do? Just park on the fucking front lawn?
I would have said, hey, I'm gonna park at Godden's house or Godden's neighborhood and be like, pick me up or come pick me up.
Well, it's like 4 a.m.
Oh,
so fuck. I can't just like wake people up.
You can't. Oh shit.
So I got out and I like tried to rock it a bit while I was in the fucking pouring rain. Oh, actually, it wasn't too bad, but coming off the roof was like the grossest like cold water I've ever fucking felt. It's like it's like twice the mass of the actual rain. So of course, like I'm right under that when I get out of the van to go look around the back.
Okay. So you park the car.
So I park the car, get out, go around back. I look, and it's like 3 inches into the mud.
Okay.
And I'm like, maybe I can push it out.
Your dog. Okay, keep going.
So I put it in neutral, run around the back, and like tried to rock it to see if it would like magically jump over the fucking hump.
It didn't?
Yeah, it didn't. It's safe to say it didn't. I just rocked the fucking van a lot.
Oh, your shit's like
So I went into the house trying to decide what the fuck I'm gonna do, and I spent like a good 10 minutes trying to figure out, like, do I wake him? Like, what do I do here? Because If I was in the yard, it would be fine. But I'm halfway through. I'm like just barely into the gate, so I can't close it.
Yeah.
And Mowgli can get out and get fucking lost.
Yeah.
But I know that the dog's like fucking terrified of rain for whatever reason.
So she's gonna stay the fuck inside?
Yeah, they're gonna stay inside until the morning. But if it stops raining, then they'll probably go out and discover that there's a big fucking hole in the fence and just bolt. So I eventually decide that fuck it, the dog's not gonna go outside anyway. And I close them into the garage, move the fence to the thing, and then
Go to sleep?
yeah, I smoked a bit and went to sleep.
You're like, fuck, I've done so much stress. Okay, you go to sleep. Okay, well, after the next morning.
So I wake up the next morning, I get dressed, and I go around the front. I go to the
What
front
time did you wake up?
seat.
Like 3?
I had to wake up at 7:30 because Teresa needed me to wake her up at like 8 a.m. or
So
something.
you only had 3 hours of sleep?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
It was I was fine with that because it was like it was Tuesday, so it's a day where I watch the house.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna pass out on the couch anyway. So I get up, like, go through the driver's seat, open the door, look around the back, and there's Hayden's dad. Oh, I forgot. I left a note on their door saying that I locked the dog in the house or in the garage, and that I'm stuck in the mud. So right away, when I open the door at like 7:30 in the morning, look out, and there's his dad, and he's in his pajamas, like looking at it, and he's like, "I guess let's pull you out."
Yeah.
And I was already. The GPS told me it could be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to get to Teresa's house at 8 o'clock in the morning. So when I set my alarm, or when I looked at it, it said start at 7:30. So I set my alarm for 7:30. So I could have slept a little bit longer, but that gave me enough time so that I could pull the fucking van out of the thing. So he pulls his truck around, we latch on a bunch of shit, and then he starts to pull me, and we get out of the mud. But I don't. Have you seen the house enough to know what the yard kind of looks like?
The front yard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like a concrete wall separating it, and then there's that fence on the right side, and it's just about as wide as like a normal car could comfortably fit through. So when you pull in, it's like a dream. You can just fucking get in there. But when you're pulling out, and it's like hard to turn back. You have to like start turning left like super early as you start to back out. Or if you're a fucking dumbass like me, you can try to like scoop it along so that you can like scoop out some air,
Tokyo Drift,
and like get a bit of breath, and then drive forward out of the yard instead of just backing out. So we get to the no. Okay, never mind. I wasn't retarded that time. He was pulling me out towards the curb, and I fucked up the steering so that I went into the wall and cracked that back right fender.
Okay, you didn't hit their wall though.
I hit it
But like how hard?
There wasn't a mark on the wall.
Okay, well I'm saying like if you fucked up your car, it's because you're a dumbass. But if you fucked up them, it's like you're even stupider. You know what I mean?
I don't think it would have even made like a good bit of damage. It would have been like a chip, and the wall is already kind of fucked.
Okay, well I'm saying you deserve it. You should. This is your van. You should have been smarter. You know what I mean? So now you know to be careful next time.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Fucking trip the wall, bend the fender.
Yeah, so I got out and I went around and I like stared at it, and he got out, walked over, he looked at it. He was like, "You cracked your fender." I'm like, Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Were you pissed off or what?
No, I just kind of like.
I would have been like, fuck, why would the fuck you tell me? Of course I know.
So we got in. He just undid the thing and I pulled out. And then I was now like 15 minutes late. So I got in the car and then drove to Teresa's. I got there at like 3:40, but because she doesn't look at the time when she wakes up until like an hour later. So I was technically like really fucking late, but she didn't even realize it.
Okay. So that's what happened with you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a great story. I think we should wrap up the podcast. That being said, any last words?
Mud sucks.
Mud sucks. Have you seen the butterflies flying around?
Oh yeah, they went. Yesterday they were going straight through the backyard of Teresa's.
Okay, so you're just sitting there watching them?
Yeah, when we woke up that morning, when we woke up yesterday morning, I went out there and she's like, "Look at all these fucking butterflies. There's like a Congo line going through my backyard."
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was telling me while she was watching them, they'd float down, go through her yard, and a couple would like stop, and then wait for another butterfly to come by, and then they'd go together, kind of thing. So they were like literally like mating up in her backyard and going off.
Damn, I would have fucking got baked and just sat there.
They were kind of dumb by the time when she left, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's beautiful. You know what I mean? That being said, I don't really have anything else to say.
Is there a couple weird things have happened at the house.
What?
First one is, like the Camp Pendleton like explosions.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone that's listening in like not a military town, we live right.
Not even a military town. This is just Oceanside in general.
I guess, yeah.
Well, let me explain. This is one of the biggest military bases in the United States, and that's why they have so much space that they test bombs here.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And we're so fucking close. Dong, dong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going off on another subject. That's why there's a unique trait about Oceanside. You know what I mean? It's like this beach town, or like then there's this valley area. You know what I mean? Then you go towards the back, and it's the military back gate, and there's bombs and shit going on. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just Oceanside is very unique compared to a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, keep going.
Oh yeah, so
we live next to a military base.
yeah, we live next to a military base, and there's just like seasons where they test bombs all night, and that's just something. Yeah, that's just something we live with. It's just
yeah,
and the whole house is like so much shake. Yeah.
It's so funny because I know it. You know what I mean? And when you go closer and closer to like Godden's house, it's like it's more. You know what I mean? It's more violent. Sorry, keep going.
I remember thinking of it as like when you live next to a train in the movies or something like that, and just every like 5 minutes, except we have bombs here.
Wait, how'd you like it when you moved here?
Huh?
When you moved here, when you first experienced it?
I didn't really hear it until I moved to that second house, because the first house is like on the other side of the hill, or of that kind of mountain.
Yeah, by El Camino, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the second house was where?
The second house was next to Libby Lake.
Yeah, yeah.
So at that second house is when I started to like hear like
yeah. What do you remember? Did you know what that was?
I think I figured it out like a couple weeks in.
Those bombs? You're like, what's the fucking mariachi band? Damn, that house must have sucked.
I like the atrium, but the noise all fucking night wasn't.
It's so funny because I have a guitarist like that right now. So you wouldn't like that? Like in the middle of the night, like let me tell you, it's like I'm like, oh, it's 12, I have to go to sleep. So I'll like start turning off the lights, start doing everything, and like it's almost as if he waits for me. And I put my head down, right, and I'll finally lock my phone for the first time, where I'm like, let me just try to close my eyes, and then you hear. And like he just plays it, and he plays it so loud in his garage that the sound itself is just subtle enough, but the vibration you could feel it. You know what I mean? So it's just subtle enough to be in the background, not to be annoying or anything, unless you have your window open. But the vibration you could feel it in your walls and stuff like that. Yeah, and he just plays all night, and then he either plays way super late in the night until 4 or 5 a.m. or super early in the morning until like. Actually, he fucking probably stays up all night thinking about it, just playing the guitar. Because I think about it, he plays super early in the morning, but he won't really play in the afternoon. Sorry.
I think if it was a guitarist, I might be a little bit more, but I didn't really like mariachi music in the first place.
Okay, well, let me say, you probably would have switched, because even if it was the same mariachi music, I would have liked it. He plays the same guitar music every single day. You know what I mean? And nothing new is about it. It's like, that's why he's been, like, the way he starts it is always the same.
Yeah, this seems like kind of a waste of practice to play the same exact thing every single day.
Maybe he warms up with it. You know what I mean? Because I only really hear it when he starts doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, but it was like that sort of explosion, except it was like at the pace of footsteps, and it like shake the house, doom 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 doom.
The bomb?
I guess it was bombs.
No, yeah. Was it super like your windows are like That's so funny. I don't remember that because I used to live in that. Remember where I showed you on the way to Gardens? That house that's right there.
At Teresa's?
No, my house. That's on. You used to live by Libby Lake, and then on the way to Gardens, and I show you that house. I'm like, oh, I used to live there.
No, I'm talking about like at Teresa's house. There are these.
Oh, bombs?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were talking about your house at Libby Lake. So I could go.
So of course she goes to like there's someone on the roof kind of thing. And it's happened like 3 or 4 times since, and it's always at night. And they said they're like testing bombs, but I don't really know where would they be doing bombs. It's in the middle of fucking Carlsbad in like an urban neighborhood.
There might be some military base or something over there. I don't know. Because I don't know. You know what I mean? There might be something over there.
Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of weird. I don't think it was footsteps, but something's. There's a lot of things blowing up. And then yesterday or today, no, it was yesterday. The fucking. She like freaked out. She said she went out and the gate was open and the string was swinging, so she knew that it had like just opened. And she said she put like a patio table in front of it. And yesterday night we went out there and the gate was open, and then the patio thing was just like right there, and it's like a latch gate too. So I don't know. Either the latch is like the faulty, or someone's going through there.
Probably faulty.
I guess, yeah.
Because I honestly, no offense to Teresa, but you know what I mean? I don't think it's happening. You're still not convinced?
Huh?
You're not still fully convinced that it's not happening? You're like, there's still a possibility?
I still don't think it's happening, but weird things are happening.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we're supposed to wrap up the podcast. We just kept talking.
Yeah. More content.
Oh, whatever. Alright, now we're signing off. Last words?
Camp Pendleton. Doom, doom, doom.
Yeah, on the same note of that, I was gonna say is that when I used to live so close, like right there down the street from Godin, I just remember how violent it would be. Like there's something they'd really test them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we moved a little bit farther into less now. Less.
Yeah, you think about if like they sold off that whole mountain range.
First of all, it is owned by the fucking.
But if they did, I know that it's like never gonna happen.
No, what I'm saying, it is fucking. That is Mexican, Native American land that they stole. They didn't steal it, but they're like, get the fuck out of here. We got big guns. You know what I mean? So they forcefully got what's theirs, and Grove Mountain, I already told you there's the mission there because I don't think they destroyed it. I think it's just sitting there. There's just a mission that they don't let anyone go to, and it's just sitting there in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying that's something I think they should get, or they should sell off or allow access to. You know what I mean? That's another topic. But yeah, what if they sold off all the mountain range?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in there? Oh yeah, you've been in there to drop off. What's his name, right? Godin's friend in the military. Or whose friend was that in the military?
I think the only time I've been in there was that high school dance that I went to, and then when we went paintballing, me and God, and we went to that.
Mm-hmm.
We went into the base.
Oh, it must have been for you. But yeah, I don't know. We're signing off.